Hello everyone, welcome to CNA, the daily newspaper analysis. So today we are back with the following list of topics to discuss. So let's start. The first topic saying about center giving note for states to authenticate Aadhaar of prisoners. So why this has been in news? Because recently the Ministry of Home Affairs has notified the use of the Aadhaar card for prison or various other authentications. So Aadhaar cards can be used to conduct authentications of the prison inmates for extending benefits such as meeting with relatives and legal aid. But as prison is a state subject, this exercise is voluntary. So we could see the central government has authorized the MHA to notify under the Rule 5 of the Aadhaar Authentication for Good Governance, Rules 2020, and also the Aadhaar Delivery of Financial and Other Subsidies Benefits and Service Act of 2016, saying that the benefits facilities may include correctional reform measures, health, skilling, vocational training, interview with relatives, legal aid, etc. So the day-to-day prison administration work can be regulated and managed effectively by using the Aadhaar system. So therefore, today we have seen that it could also include the prisoners before the court and the return to the prison. Also, we could see about providing health facilities. We can see about providing them with legal aid, parole, temporary release mechanisms. So it's a step towards the prison reforms in our country. Okay, so today we have got a lot many number of issues associated with the prisons, be it the pendency of the cases, be it the absolute loss, be it the exploitation and inhuman behavior inside the prison. Also saying about the case of custodial rapes and deaths resulting in the violation of prisoners' human rights, overcrowding and inhuman conditions, inadequate infrastructures are all such problems associated with the respective jails. So therefore, if Aadhaar is directly coming up with the respective jails, then we can see that in the coming times, it could directly make a reformation inside the inmates, which are basically inside the jails for a longer period of time, and also for the people who are awaiting some of the benefits out from the respective government. Okay, so therefore, this is directly a good step towards prison reforms. Okay, so therefore, this was basically was in news. Next, coming to this one, railway ties with ISRO for train tracking. So why this has been in news? Because the Indian Railways is harnessing the power of data analytics for integrated rail transportation, and it has launched a project called the Real Time Train Information System, that is RTTIS. Okay, not TT, it is RTIS. Okay, so Real Time Train Information System. So what is this project? So it will enable real-time tracking of the train movements with the assistance of satellite imagery. So under the project, the Center for Railway Information System, that is the CRIS, has collaborated with the ISRO, that is the Indian Space Research Organization for live tracking of train movements. So ISRO has developed its own regional navigation satellites, which we all know to be the Navik, and also the Bhuvan, which is a web-based utility which allows users to explore a set of map-based content being deployed for tracking. So therefore, Indian Railways have taken bandwidth from ISRO and integrated their systems with Navik and Bhuvan, and every locomotive is fitted with a device and a SIM which communicates the train's real position to the satellite, and feedback is received thereafter. So therefore, if we see about the significance of this project, so it will help the real-time tracking of the trains, which is useful during accidents, also floods and landslips, when there is a need to pin down the train's exact location for rendering help. Okay, so therefore today we could see that such program is in news, which is known as the RTIS, Real Time Train Information Systems, which will assist the railways in maintaining various number of particular data with respective to the individuals or to the respective passengers who are traveling in such number of railways. Okay, next, South Korea pushes to end disputes with Japan over wartime forced labor. Okay, so recently the South Korea has announced plan, okay, on Monday to compensate victims of Japan's forced wartime labor, aiming to end vicious cycle in the Asian powers relation and boost ties to counter nuclear armed North. So today, South Korea as well as Japan is directly coming together to directly tackle its own enemy or the common enemy of North Korea, which is basically a nuclear power today. And also we cannot see about this particular country to be a responsible nuclear power. So therefore, Seoul and Tokyo have already ramped up security cooperation in the face of growing threats from the North Korea regime. And therefore, we can see that today, such number of forced labor system which existed during the time of the respective war situations. So this has been recently been relieved by South Korea, and therefore they have plans to compensate the victims of the forced wartime labor that can be seen within the space of South Korea. So it's a good sign between the two Asian countries and also two of the Asian giants, basically South Korea as well as Japan. Okay, so that will make the whole region very much of stabilized in this particular area, and which can easily counter the country like North Korea. Okay, chalo. The Treaty on High Seas. So why this is all about? So we could see that recently the Treaty of High Seas, also known as the BBNJ Treaty. Okay, so the BBNJ Treaty has also been under command. So what is this BBNJ? So it is the biodiversity of areas beyond national jurisdiction, which is referred to as BBNJ. So it's an international agreement on the conservation and sustainable use of marine biological diversity of areas beyond national jurisdiction within the framework of UNCLOS, that is the United Nations Convention for the Law of the Sea. So the representatives part of the Intergovernmental Conference on Marine Biodiversity of Areas Beyond National Jurisdiction, commonly referred to as BBNJ, from over 100 nations have finished drafting a United Nations agreement to safeguard the open ocean. So it had been under negotiations for over 10 years and was finalized in March 2023 after 5 rounds of negotiations. So what are the high seas and the biodiversity risks there? So we can see that around 66% of the world's ocean are classified as international waters or high seas, where all nations are entitled to conduct research, shipping, and fishing activities. However, only approximately 1% of these areas have been safeguarded so far, and this puts the vast majority of marine organisms residing on the high seas under threat from various hazards, be it overfishing, be it climate change, and also shipping traffic. So we could see that according to the IUCN, nearly 10% of the marine species are at the risk of extinction, mainly due to pollution and overfishing. And therefore, we could see that 41% of the total threatened species are also getting affected by climate change. So in this particular process, we could see that the blue economy, which needs to be sustained at the earliest, needs to be very much of utilized so that we could protect this blue economy for a better period of time in the coming seasons. So therefore, these high seas are experiencing a variety of threats due to human actions, and only a small proportions of the open oceans is currently under any form of safeguard. So therefore, the treaty seeks to bring us closer in achieving the SDG 14, which is life below water. Okay, so therefore, this has been recently decided by the Treaty on the High Seas about the UN member states, and let's see how we could directly make such type of resolutions come under prominence with respect to the high seas, and how we can directly control the life below water, as well as also in maintaining the ecosystem that is the 66% of the open high seas. Okay, chalo. Lastly, if you see about the editorial, so we all know about the Women's Day, and therefore this thing is basically news. So the theme for the International Women's Day, which was celebrated on March 8th, was Digit All. So it is innovation and technology for gender equality, and the transformational and all-encompassing role of digital technology is growing even faster in post-pandemic world. So therefore, today we could see that there are various number of areas where women is required to go for some form of digital solutions. Supposedly, if I say about the PM Poshan scheme, so under the scheme, 3 million cook-cum helpers play a critical role in preparing and providing hot cooked meals to millions of school children, and all are basically women. So nutritional improvement through the midday meal schemes is inextricably linked with food safety. So today, even the digital literacy and food security under the National Family Health Survey of 5 indicates that 54% women and 64% children in India urban areas are anemic. So through such number of process today, we could see that the women-led digital solutions will infuse fresh energy and confidence in how women perceive and deliver their roles as nutrition champions. Also, their respective access to digital literacy and platforms would create awareness about the gaps and needs in the population that are often on the margins of the digital revolution. So women can harness digital tools for improving nutritional schemes, and initiatives while also using them to create economic opportunities that ensure long-term food and nutritional security. So therefore, the need for inclusive technology and digital education is essential for a sustainable future, which includes women and their respective role in their respective scenario. So therefore, the women in training will be able to prioritize access to financial services, manage their own economic activities, and also about informing their respective decisions on their livelihoods, food security, and obviously for the respective nutrition. So even we can see in a pilot on financial literacy and digital literacy being implemented by the Women Food Program, we could see that the women associated with the self-help groups have nearly around 70% of women who wanted to acquire new skills, but they are not rendered such number of skills with respective to digital solutions. So therefore, in this particular International Women's Day of 2023, the theme was basically for this it all, so that we can render each and every woman under this particular circumstances to learn about various number of digital revolution and also how to use the technology in this particular post-pandemic world even very faster. So that discussed about the role of women in this particular digital atmosphere. Okay, so this was all with the editorial. So we have this 5 number of MCQs. Please do attempt these MCQs and do join our WhatsApp and Telegram channel for further updates. So stay tuned with us for some exciting offers to come up in the season that is basically on this period of sale. So that's all for today. Thank you and Jai Hind.